what's a few hundred years between friends?
Or 100 million, for that matter.
That was frankly pathetic.
You see, everything about evolution theory, including cosmology,
Cosmology is not evolution.
and astronomy, are based upon assumption.
It seems to be the favourite argument of this particular creationist to claim that any sciences that do not agree with his belief system must by definition be based upon assumption.
It's speculation and conjecture.
Or speculation conjecture. The creationist position that a magical being did all of this is based entirely on speculation, conjecture, and wild assumptions. So the only way for creationists to be believed now is to attack the scientific method itself and use some of the most dishonest tactics any politician could possibly wish to use.
Evolutionist scientists used to speculate that all the matter in our solar system spun from the same original ball of molten material.
What the hell is this creationist talking about?
But of course, creationist scientists have proven this wrong.
That's as dishonest as saying creation scientists were responsible for proving that Piltdown was a fraud, when the reality is that it was the scientific community who were responsible for exposing the Piltdown fraud over 70 years ago.
So they invented a new hole for their theory. That is, a foreign body came through.
Evidently, the creationist has zero idea on nebulous star formation, nor does he understand that the presence of higher elements in our star system demonstrates how Sol was born from a chain reaction that was triggered by the destruction of a long-dead star nearby. Real scientists know this.
And then there's the Oort cloud.
Oort cloud? How many more red herrings is the creationist going to use in this series? Wait, don't answer that, I'll lose count.
Oh, something undetectable, unseen, unknown.
Undetectable? Unseen? Unknown? This has to be the most epic fail of all time. Here is some information on the Oort cloud.
Ooh, the mystery of it all. You see, that's their science.
That was actually the creationists' most pathetic and laughable appeal to ridicule yet. Can he sink lower still? Let's see, shall we?
The undetectable is there. That's proof that it happened. Because we can't see it.
Evidently, he can sink lower. Even Venom Fang X is more mature than this creationist. His appeal to ridicule is also like claiming that
it is completely impossible to calibrate for the variables in radiometric data.
Hey, did you know that in contradiction to the scientific law of conservation of angular momentum,
watch out everyone, it's a Hovindism,
that there are 9 moons in our solar system which spin backwards from the planets that they orbit? Now, of course, this is impossible.
Impossible? This particular creationist loves to use that particular word a lot. However, again, the evidence says otherwise.
According to evolutionist thinking.
Oh, really? Well, no evolutionist makes the claim that planets spinning in counter-orbital or off-axial directions at different rates is impossible. Ever.
Some real science these guys are putting out, huh?
Making appeals to ridicule based on misrepresentations of real honest scientists instead of addressing their actual claims is the hallmark of this particular creationist. At his age, he really should be better behaved.
Of course, this is not surprising, since they're now saying that dark matter, an undetected, unknown, invisible, and imaginary element...
The creationist knows no limits when it comes to insulting the hard work and dedication of real scientists whose lifelong dedication to the growth of knowledge have clothed, fed, and watered this ungrateful, disrespectful cretin. As for dark matter, research is ongoing. And what does anything these creationists said in this particular rant have to do with what the extant doders were saying? There was not one mention of dark matter in this entire critical analysis of Pendleton's ridiculous conference of his.
Constitutes the amount of matter missing from the universe which would be required for it to explode in the Big Bang, you see. Can't find the matter.
The creationist gets more pathetic as this video continues. The rest of this non-response of this creationist has been cut.
Let's summarize. Using conflicting accounts of the genealogy and guesstimates of ages, you arrive at your preconceived idea. Wow. Just wow.
Now, well, you've learned already that there is no conflict in the genealogy.
That was a repeat assertion and a total lie. If this claim of his were true, then why the need for apologetics at all?
And that scientific methods used by evolutionist scientists are full of speculation and conjecture.
The creationist continues to toe that line.
Learned that too. Should be learning also that evolution history is rife with hoaxes.
The fact that Piltdown was a fraud means that evolution history is rife with hoaxes? Never mind the tens of thousands of genuine discoveries that support the fact of evolution. And if this creationist wants to talk about hoaxes, what about Paluxy River?
Those are speculations and conjectures presented as facts. See, everything you believe about evolution is a lie.
The creationist continues to assert this and every single other claim in this series of his, and yet he has not once provided any genuine and verifiable evidence that this is even remotely the case.
Earth is young.
Wow, that was just barely coherent. Now, let me try to explain. First, misunderstand a basic fact about isochron dating. For the dating to be accurate, the samples must be cogenetic, meaning they must be from the same source. This fact is rather obvious to even the naive observer, and is well known to scientists employing the tool of radiometric dating. The dating experiment that Pendleton is referring to was done by a creationist who set out to disprove the age of the Grand Canyon. He chose 5 non-cogenetic samples, one from a field crust that wasn't even part of a lava flow. The samples contained elements of the lithospheric mantle under the Grand Canyon, which is substantially older than the other elements. This skewed the data. The only conclusion is that sloppy science yields false results.
Well, this is false.
No, in fact, sloppy science does yield false results. Let's have NephilimFree give us some examples of this, shall we?
It's not necessary for one sample to be from the same source as another.
Laughably absurd. Yes, it is. If you're going to date a specific feature using isochron dating, then this is absolutely an essential requirement.
To attempt to achieve a date for either. Your fallacy is based on the assumption that all evolutionist scientists have in regards to radiometric dating or isometric dating.
Isochron, not isometric. Just like aquifers, not aquifers, superposition, not superposition, and mass spectrometry, not mass spectronomy. The creationist can't get the terminology right, yet he claims to know more than the people who actually work in these fields. Arrogant presumption. It's disgusting, Mr. 2 years of research, and he should be thoroughly ashamed of himself. Of course he won't be. That's not how creationist reality denialists like NephilimFree work.
And that is that you use one thing of known age, such as a rock from a particular layer that you presume is of a particular age.
That was laughable. First the creationist says of known age. Then the creationist says that you assume is of particular age. Again, it's internally inconsistent. Evidently he has no idea how radioactive decay works. The video annotated here will give the requisite explanation. Suffice to say that radiometric dating is based not on assumptions or circular reasoning, but on a precise mathematical law. What claim is the creationist going to make next? Trigonometry is a religion?
To date another rock. Furthermore, your contention that the samples must be from lava flows somehow for the information to be workable.
The creationist doesn't know how to listen or how to read. Let's replay that clip again, shall we?
Wow, that was just barely coherent. Now, let me try to explain. First, misunderstand a basic fact about isochron dating. For the dating to be accurate, the samples must be cogenetic, meaning they must be from the same source. This fact is rather obvious to even the naive observer, and is well known to scientists employing the tool of radiometric dating. The dating experiment that Pendleton is referring to was done by a creationist who set out to disprove the age of the Grand Canyon. He chose 5 non-cogenetic samples, one from a field crust that wasn't even part of a lava flow. The samples contained elements of the lithospheric mantle under the Grand Canyon, which is substantially older than the other elements. This skewed the data. The only conclusion is that sloppy science yields false results.
At no point did the extant dodos claim that lava flows are the only source. The extant dodos stated clearly that cogenetic samples are essential for isochron dating to work. So as they stated, sloppy science yields false results, something this creationist fails dismally to grasp.